You've seen them. The internet has officially adopted you as its spirit animal, its darling, its patron saint of adorable weirdness. A real-life Pokémon, a perpetually smiling, squishy water lizard with a magnificent, feathery pink mane. The Axolotl, the poster child for everything cute and quirky in the natural world. They call you a masterpiece of evolution, a biological Peter Pan blessed with the godlike power to regenerate any part of your body, a creature that has hacked the aging process, forever young, forever smiling. It's a beautiful story. And it is a complete unadulterated lie, a comfortable, marketable, profoundly dishonest fantasy constructed to sell plush toys and aquarium kits. That permanent dopey smile isn't a sign of blissful contentment. It's an anatomical accident, a grotesque rictus grin, hiding a pathetic, fragile, and deeply cursed existence. Your life is not a superpower-fueled adventure. It is a slow-motion tragedy, a life sentence of perpetual vulnerability, spent in a shrinking, polluted puddle, waiting for something, anything to finally, mercifully, eat you. Your story isn't about the miracle of life. It's about the sheer, grinding, relentless misery of being a biological mistake that happens to look cute. Your life begins not with a gentle welcome, but as one of hundreds of tiny, transparent eggs, clinging precariously to a swaying plant in the murky oxygen-starved waters of Lake Xochimilco, near what is now Mexico City. You are a gelatinous speck, a potential life form suspended in jelly. Your mother, having fulfilled her biological duty by scattering her genetic material, has already vanished. She offers no protection, no warmth, no guidance. She laid her eggs and abandoned you and your hundreds of siblings to your fate. And that fate is to devour each other in a gruesome infantile gauntlet. When you finally hatch, you are a tiny, ravenous larva, all mouth and instinct. Your first impulse isn't to explore your new world or marvel at the dim, polluted light filtering through the water. It is to kill. The Axolotl nursery isn't a happy school of siblings learning to swim. It's a non-stop, underwater, gladiatorial battle royale, where the only rule is eat or be eaten. Your brothers and sisters are not your family. They are your first meal, and your first mortal enemies. You lunge at any dark shape that twitches, and they do the same to you. Your jaw, surprisingly wide for your tiny head, snaps shut. You swallow your brother whole. You feel nothing. It is simply fuel. This is the first, and most honest, interaction you will ever have with a family member. And this is where your famous superpower regeneration makes its tragic debut. It's not a glorious ability you choose to use in heroic battles against mythical beasts. It's a desperate, energy-intensive defense mechanism that evolved for one primary, horrifying reason: to survive having your limbs chewed off by your own family during this infantile death match. A sister, slightly larger and faster than you, swims by and bites off your front leg in a single, savage snap. You survive, trailing blood, and hide among the detritus and human garbage at the bottom of the lake. You spend the next several weeks in hiding, a terrified amputee, slowly, painfully regrowing the limb, burning precious calories you can't afford to lose. As you recover, you watch from your hiding spot as your other siblings are torn apart or eaten whole. Regeneration isn't a cool party trick. It's a gruesome biological patch kit for surviving your own baby shower. It's the universe's way of saying, your childhood will be so relentlessly violent, you'll need the ability to regrow body parts just to have a slight chance of making it to adolescence. If you are one of the lucky few to survive this cannibalistic free-for-all, you are rewarded not with strength and maturity, but with a life sentence of biological stagnation. This is your other supposed superpower, neoteny. It means you never fully grow up. You are a biological Peter Pan, forever trapped in the delicate, inefficient body of a juvenile. You are permanently stuck in puberty. This is not an advantage. It is an evolutionary curse, a profound biological error. A normal, successful salamander undergoes a miraculous transformation called metamorphosis. It's nature's graduation ceremony. It develops functional lungs. Its fins recede, its skin toughens into a protective barrier, and its legs strengthen, allowing it to leave the treacherous, predator-filled water and thrive on land. You don't get to graduate. Your body fails to produce the necessary thyroid-stimulating hormones to trigger this change. You are an evolutionary dropout, a creature trapped in an eternally fragile and inefficient larval state. Let's dissect your cute features, shall we? Those feathery pink things branching from your head? That isn't a stylish punk rock hairdo. They are your external gills. They are delicate, blood-filled filaments, completely exposed and waving tantalizingly in the water. They are a living, breathing, bright pink eat-me sign for any predator or parasite. A small fish, one you might not even see coming with your terrible eyesight, can swim by and take a chunk out of your primary respiratory system. They are also a perfect breeding ground for fungus. A single spore can land on them and blossom into a white, cottony shroud of death, slowly suffocating you as it eats you alive. You are a creature that wears its own lungs on the outside, and they are as fragile as wet tissue paper. And your skin, it's not tough or scaly. It's soft, permeable, slimy, and ridiculously fragile. It lacks the thick keratinized layers that protect terrestrial animals. A sharp rock can tear it open. Worse, Its permeability means you don't just swim in the polluted water of your home, you absorb it. Every drop of agricultural runoff, every trace of heavy metal, every molecule of sewage seeps directly into your body through your skin. You are a living sponge for human filth. To top it all off, you have no eyelids. You can never blink. You can never close your eyes to the constant, murky horror of your existence. You are forced to stare, unblinking, into the abyss of your pathetic life, forever. And that smile, that stupid, vacant, perpetually cheerful smile, it's not an emotion. It is a cruel anatomical accident, the physical structure of your upturned mouth. It is the fixed, idiotic grin of a creature whose brain is processing a life of constant low-grade terror, while its face is permanently locked in an expression of blissful ignorance. It is the face of a clown masking a soul in torment. Your entire wild existence is confined to a single, tiny, tragic corner of the planet, the lake complex of Axolotl, a dying network of polluted canals and artificial islands on the outskirts of the megalopolis of Mexico City. This isn't a pristine wilderness, it's a graveyard of a once great ecosystem. These are the last remnants of the vast lakes the Aztecs built their floating gardens on. Now, they are a dirty, shrinking puddle, choked with sewage. The stench of decay, agricultural runoff, plastic bags, and the general detritus of 22 million people. You are the so-called king of a dying kingdom of filth. You are a predator, but a deeply pathetic one. Your eyesight is atrocious. You are practically blind, only able to distinguish light from shadow. So, how do you hunt? Not with skill, speed, or intelligence. You hunt by clumsily sniffing around the muddy, garbage-strewn bottom of your polluted home. You are a bottom feeder in every sense of the word. When your primitive sensory organs detect the chemical signature of something edible, a worm, a snail, an insect, you don't strike with precision. You lunge forward with all the grace of a falling brick and open your mouth wide. This creates a vacuum that sucks in your intended prey, along with a mouthful of mud, rotting plant matter, microplastics, and whatever chemical sludge happens to be in the way. Your hunting strategy is that of a biological vacuum cleaner with terrible aim and no filter. And your world is now full of new monsters, titans you were never meant to face. Humans, in their infinite wisdom, decided your dying lake needed more life. So they introduced invasive species like African tilapia and Asian carp. These fish are bigger, faster, more aggressive, and far more intelligent than you. They are the new kings of your dying kingdom. They are brutish, thuggish invaders. They eat your food, they eat your eggs, and they eat your young. You evolved over millennia to be the top predator in your tiny, isolated puddle, only to have humanity airdrop a legion of superior, battle-hardened competitors right on top of you. You are being outcompeted, outsmarted, and eaten into extinction in the only home you have ever known. And here we arrive at the final, most perverse, and cruelest irony of your miserable existence. While you are critically endangered, a ghost on the verge of disappearing forever from the wild, you are thriving in another environment, human captivity. Your species' only hope for survival is to be a prisoner. You are bred by the thousands in sterile, brightly lit laboratories around the world. Your superpower of regeneration makes you the perfect subject for scientific experiments. Scientists see you not as a living creature, but as a self-repairing biological toolkit. They will amputate the same limb over and over again to study the speed of its regrowth. They will crush your spinal cord to see if you can walk again. They will scoop out sections of your cerebral hemisphere, the very core of your limited consciousness, just to watch the tissue slowly regrow. You are a living science experiment, a creature whose entire existence is defined by being systematically mutilated for the advancement of human knowledge. Your immortality is a curse that allows others to torture you endlessly. And then there's the pet trade. People buy you because you're cute and you have a silly smile. They take you home and imprison you in a small glass box, a pathetic sterile simulation of the lake you were meant to rule. Your life as a pet is a cycle of mind-numbing sensory deprivation. You float in your clean, empty box, staring with your unblinking eyes at the fake plastic plants and the weird, fleshy giants who tap on the glass. You are fed processed pellets, a disgusting and unnatural substitute for the live prey your instincts crave. You are an object of amusement, a living decoration. Your tragic existence reduced to a quirky hobby for someone who will probably forget to clean your tank. Sometimes, your human captors get curious. They read online that they can play God. They can force you to do what your body naturally cannot. They can inject you with iodine, or simply add it to your water, the very hormone your body fails to produce. This triggers a forced, unnatural, and violent metamorphosis. It is a biological horror show, a war against your own body. The process is agonizing. Your beautiful, feathery external gills, your primary means of breathing, begin to wither. They shrink, turning brown and necrotic, and are agonizingly absorbed into your body. Your lungs, previously small and useless, are forced to inflate. Your skin, once soft and slimy, cracks and hardens. Your tail fin recedes. You are transforming into a creature you were never meant to be, a terrestrial salamander. It is a biological betrayal, a forced evolution that your body is not equipped to handle. Most axolotls who endure this forced metamorphosis live short, miserable lives, dying from infections or organ failure. You become a monster of human curiosity, a living testament to the fact that sometimes, growing up is the worst thing that can happen. In the wild, your end is as pathetic as your life. You won't die in a glorious battle. You'll be slowly nibbled to death by an invasive tilapia you never saw coming. You might succumb to a festering fungal infection that consumes your fragile skin, or you might simply starve, your clumsy hunting methods finally failing you one last time. In captivity, you might live longer, but your life has no meaning. You die of old age in your glass box, floating lifelessly one morning, only to be discovered by your owner, scooped out with a net, and unceremoniously flushed down a toilet. A final, watery grave that is a sad echo of the home you never truly knew. So let's recap. You are born into a cannibalistic death. You are cursed to live in a permanently weak and vulnerable state of eternal childhood. Your famous smile is a facial deformity, masking a life of fear. Your entire species is being systematically wiped out in its only home on Earth. And your only hope for survival is to become a prisoner, a lab rat, and a pet, living a completely artificial existence defined by mutilation and boredom. Your life didn't just suck. It was a cruel, cosmic joke, a biological tragedy disguised as a cute internet meme. You are a living relic of a world that no longer exists, a creature whose most famous traits are the very source of its unending, smiling misery.